Good morning, everyone. So, I've been learning a lot recently about how my brain works and how my memory works and how other people's do as well. And one of the things I've learned is that I don't have a visual retention memory. So although I can see visual images, I can't recall images in my head. I can only think of words that describe what I saw. So unless I assign words to what I see, I won't remember it. And so I just had a vision. And now, like the slow person that I am, I understand, oh, it's called a vision because you see a picture when your eyes are closed. And you normally can't do that because I don't have vision in my brain. I'm blind. I'm blind in my brain. When I close my eyes, I'm blind in my brain. And unless there's a word of truth, it's like this hollow void of terror and fear. And sitting here just so grateful and praying and talking with Jesus. And I close my eyes and I've been having like this buildup of pressure because it's like the climax, like, you know, like if you're going to a surprise party, I guess you wouldn't know. Well, if you know you have a surprise birthday present or something, it's like you're excited, but it's like that pressure builds up. And it's been building with me. And so while I was praying, I was just kind of leaning my eyes on my hands to like release the different muscles. I get a lot of tension around my eyebrows and my actual eye muscles and underneath. So I like to just kind of lean on my hand, and my hands are almost always cold and my head's almost always hot. I know, you don't have to say it, I already know. And so it feels just like heaven. Humans love contrast. That's another thing I've learned. No, they like it in all sorts of things. And so as I was doing it, the black inside my brain, and I only know it's black because I have sight right now, and I've been taught that when my eyes are closed, that void is what the visual people call blackness. And so I was in there, void. And at the same time, I was trying to relax my eyes. I was leaning against the table here and relaxing my diaphragm. Because, like, my stomach has just been in knots. And I've been just trying to relax and breathe because I know Jesus has it covered. I know everything's okay. And just because I don't know doesn't mean he doesn't know. And so I was trying to get my body to come into unity with me in that belief, and that it would relax and calm down because everything's okay and it doesn't need to freak out. It's not the past. So I was leaning into that arch, releasing my diaphragm, releasing my eyes, and I felt my hips drop as I started to relax and be able to breathe. And the void started to change. I saw this circle of light with a black hole in the middle, and it made me think of an eye, his eye. And I was scared of it. It was like the thought that came to my head was, when people say the all-seeing eye, that's the image they're thinking of. Like, that's him. That's it. And it was just blurry and like this whole void, and then just like this white circle, and it was kind of hazy around the edges, and it was like a black center. and it would morph and it would ripple a little bit. And then it started to get far. I realized it didn't start to get, it just was. I realized it was far away. But it seemed like I was rising up and getting closer to it. Like that was what I heard. Like I realized, like I didn't really hear it. It was just like a knowing. Like, and that's when I realized I was what I had feared my whole life. I was at the bottom of a lake. And I was drowning. And that light that I could see was the surface. And the reason it was hazy and moving and changing shape was because I was at the bottom so far away. And I couldn't breathe. I was so scared I was going to drown. I knew I had drowned. I knew it was too late. I didn't know what to do. And so I was just doing what my therapist calls loving acceptance. And that's when he came. And it was like, as I was looking, I knew I was at the part where he had already picked me up. He had already breathed his breath of life into me, but we were still underwater. We were still so far from the surface. I had to rely on him and his air, his breath, and sharing it. If we were going to make that far swim back to the surface. And I couldn't cling to him. I can't, because when you're drowning, you have to relax. It's so counterintuitive. That way the person rescuing you, saving you, can use their strength and they don't have to fight you. They can just, they've been trained how to save you. And so I would start to get and that's really our journey. He's the living water, the air in our lungs. And he saved us from death. And he wants us to learn to do it too. As we swim to the surface, as we start to enter the kingdom of heaven, as it draws ever closer. There's other people in the lake. And they can't breathe either. They just need a breath. He's got unlimited breath, and he's going to keep sharing it with me. And he asks me to share it with them. Join the flock. And if we all work together with him, he can breathe into all of us. I don't have to be carrying the people myself. I just have to share that breath so they can swim over next to him and they can share his, because he's got an unlimited supply. He can get us all there. There's no scarcity. We don't have to be afraid. We just have to keep going back to him for the next breath. And he will share it. Because that's the whole point. I love you guys. Very obviously, he loves you more. If you've never heard God talk to you, ask him to. He's one of my favorite things about God is that he talks to you in a language that you will understand. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else because you're unique. Your experiences, your perspective, it's all been specifically crafted for your growth. Not for anyone else's faith journey, for your faith journey. And he's going to speak to you in a way that you will recognize. And it'll be easy to shuffle it off because you know, oh, they would just say this or that person. Well, God's not talking to them. He's talking to you. And he wants you to understand. So he's speaking your language because he's a gentleman. And he's very kind. And he loves you very much. Okay, goodbye.